Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys a little video special of mine. Today I'm going to be showing you all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Figurine collection. I actually did a video with my figurine collection a couple years ago where I showed the figures I still had in my collection, where I got them, and just basically why I kept those out of all the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Paraphernalia that I collected throughout my years. But I thought I'd bring you guys an update because at the time it was a small collection, not really small, but I had a small subscriber count. And I thought, you know, with the increase throughout the years, I'd get another one because I thought more people would be interested in seeing it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Starting off the collection are my Magnet Hero figurines. Beta was actually the first Magnet Hero that I got. It was given to me as a birthday present. I don't remember what year, but I know I was pretty young, if not single digits, preteens. I thought it was really interesting because it was one of those figures where the pieces had to be put together. I don't want to try and, you know, take any of them off at the moment, but it was one of those figurines where they're all in like those square casings like Gundam figures, and you had to break them off. I know some of the pieces are still kind of jagged off, but I was young at the time. I wasn't too precise. I just wanted to get the figures built and play with. I also think Beta has actually lost some color over the years. Like, it used to be more yellow, I think, but I don't think his size is too proportional either, which I'll show either. I think Beta was actually a lot smaller in the series compared to Alpha and Gamma. But the cool thing is also with each of the figures, you can combine all three of them into Valkyrian. The next one is Alpha, the Magnet Warrior. He is definitely a lot more adjustable than Beta. His limbs move a lot more. You can move his shield and arms, adjust them. His legs don't bend. I think, you know, they couldn't really perfect the figures. They were more just for show, you know, stand up like that at the time. But they still did a really nice job. And they got all the clear details. You know, you can even see he's perfectly holding his shield in his hand, sword in the other. And he was also a very vital part of the Valkyrian figure. You used his whole body for the figure. You actually only took, I think, 2 magnet pieces off of Beta for the head of Valkyrian. And you even had a separate part, which is the head in total, that came with Beta. And I think that's all you used from the Beta figure. But the Alpha figure used the sword, the shield, the legs, the arms, the good majority from this figure for the Valkyrian. I think the feet were Gammas that you use. I actually got this figure in New York. It was at the big Toys R Us. I got this one, like, I think a year after Beta, but it was at the Toys R Us with the giant Ferris wheel. I don't remember if that Toys R Us is still around or not. It's been forever since I've been to New York, but picked that figure up there, added it to my collection, and then had both of these in my holster at the time. It took forever to find the last of the Magnet Warriors. I could not find Gamma the Magnet Warrior at all in any of the stores for a good while after I got Alpha. I started to think maybe, you know, America didn't get Gamma, and then I went to Target, which I think it had to be a good while after, because I remember a good time in which I did not have Gamma the Magnet Warrior. But it was actually in a bundle collection. I actually had to get the Gamma Warrior with the XYZ Dragon Cannon figure, which I don't know what happened to that figure, otherwise I would also be showing that in this video. But I got the Gamma through that. I thought worth it because I've been looking for this figure forever. So, and I also get the cool XYZ Dragon Cannon figure, which I do still regret not getting it. But he's very adjustable in his limbs. His feet don't move too much, which is, I think, with all the Magnet Warriors, but his arms move pretty well in the sockets, and the wings are used with Valkyrian along with the feet as well. So if you combine by taking off these feet, I think you can even try. I honestly don't want to, but yeah, you can pop off that foot there, take the Gamma foot, and it should fit. If not, I think you might need to use a couple more limbs, but you do use the Gamma limbs on the Valkyrian figure. Maybe you have to extend a little more of the feet, but those are added on for making Valkyrian, which I thought was really cool. I did try it once when I gathered all 3 of the figures, because they advertised a lot on each one of the boxes, combined all 3 of the figures, and you can make Valkyrian. But these were my favorites of all my Yu-Gi-Oh figures. Next up is my two-headed King Rex, which is what I think this one is. If you compare it to the card, it does not look like the two-headed King Rex we all know. I can't remember. It's even got the tags on the bottom. I do not remember if this is exactly two-headed King Rex. I want to think it is, because Dragon Zombie only has one head compared to this too. But to me, I have this figure mostly because it's very sturdy. It hasn't broken like my Gate Guardian figure, which broke a good while ago. Wasn't built well, which is another reason why I've kept these figures, because they've retained, you know, their strength over the years. Otherwise, he wasn't really too big of a favorite of mine, but he's very durable, and he does look really cool, despite not looking anything like the actual two-headed King Rex, if it is this card. If you guys know the real figure name of this card, feel free to comment down below on it. Next up is my Hercules Beetle. This one is really adjustable. The legs are really cool. It's got that reflective shell on the back with the expandable. There's also the really good designed horn. I just like the whole figure as well. But the thing about this figure is it wasn't actually mine, it was my sister's, and she ended up giving it to me after she kind of fell out of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which kept it in my collection because it was also really well made, like a lot of the figures. I would like to one day also possibly get all of them, just to, you know, line them up somewhere professionally in my room, but until then. And lastly, is probably my most rare figure, is the five-headed dragon figure. It is so well detailed. The heads all look perfect in my opinion. The fire, water, dark, earth, and steel head all complement each other greatly. It looks like the exact card. Like, they didn't miss one detail with this monster. You can actually see more on this monster than you can on the actual card in my opinion. And they just the one thing about this figure is I cannot find anywhere online about this figure, which makes me think it might not be real. But I see the Konami label on the bottom, which, you know, that kind of proves that it is. I remember it being in the box as well. I actually got this from Toy Wiz, which, you know, at the time, I'm glad I did. It was well worth the investment. I just wish I could find other people that, you know, actually have this figure. Another comment down below if you do have this figure. I would love to, you know where you got it, and if, you know, it's still in the box or something like that. It'd be cool to see what the original box looks like as well. Other than that, I'm really, you know, happy with my figurine collection. Still keep them all on the shelf. Maybe I'll get some of the other figures for the collection. I know there's an Exodia figure, an Obelisk figure, a Slifer figure. I think there might be a Raw figure as well. I think there's a Launcher Spider. I can name a good couple, and I just want to, you know, really look into seeing if anyone else has any more of these figures, because it would be cool to expand the collection for what it already is. So yeah, that's it for my Yu-Gi-Oh! Figurine collection video. Hope you all enjoyed. Also, don't forget to comment down below what Yu-Gi-Oh! Figures you still have or are collecting. I'd be glad to hear what you have in your collection. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.